We have surveillance video of a carjacking here in Indianapolis. We're going to show it to you coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining us. Great to have you with us. We've got a big show tonight. We're going to talk about John Stair being inducted into the Indiana Broadcasters Association Hall of Fame. So the legend goes in. He's now an HOFer, which is good for him. And so we also want to, you know, Hall of Famer, right?
Sure, I got that.
Yeah, you got that. So anyway, congratulations to John. We'll show you a little bit of video of that. And then we're talking about Tom Brady. This report about, you know, the Bucs quarterback, Tom Brady and his wife. Are they getting a divorce? They've hired divorce attorneys. We're going to talk about that tonight. We've got friend of the show, Emily Longnecker, in. We've got Angela in tonight. It's a big night, Felicia.
It is a big night. We got the whole party here, the whole gang here, so let's kick it off with weather.
You got it. We're going to kick it off with the bus stop forecast because not nearly as cold.
Right.
We had lots of places with frost this morning. I follow a friend on Twitter, and he works at golf courses. I think he aerates and things like that.
Right.
Okay.
And he had a picture on Twitter of frost delays at the golf course.
Frost delays.
Whether you were playing or I think he was probably working.
Yeah.
But it was fairly significant, especially north of Indianapolis early this morning. We had 35 to 40 early today. Not nearly as cold out the door tomorrow morning. We'll be in the middle and upper 40s and then make the low to mid 60s by lunchtime with highs in the mid 70s tomorrow. Mid 70s tomorrow and Thursday. Those are going to be your two warm days before a weather system dramatically changes the weather pattern. Doesn't look to bring us a lot of rain, but this is early Thursday morning, and there will be the chance of a couple of showers around the early half of Thursday, and then as the colder air wraps in on the back side of the system, may squeeze out a couple of showers Thursday night into early Friday. And by cold, I mean we're going to go from mid 70s for highs into the 50s.
That's not bad.
Oh, that's a 20-degree difference.
That's not bad.
You speak for yourself, Scott. Man.
Yeah, if we were going from 70 to 20 or 30, you know, it'd be a big deal. But,
Well, you mentioned 30, so I still think we have enough cloud cover around Friday night into Saturday. That frost won't be a big issue.
Right.
But we clear Saturday night into Sunday, and with the core of the cool air overhead, widespread frost potential, and maybe in a few places briefly freezing.
Okay.
So something that we'll kind of keep you updated on.
Okay, you'll have to dig out the hat and the gloves when you go out early Saturday and
I
Sunday.
will need them.
All right, we've got Josephine in tonight. Ralph's with us. Joyce, Teresa, Blaze, Pamela. It's so good to have everybody with us tonight. We'll get back to Angela and talk a little bit more about the forecast in a moment, but we do want to bring in a friend of the show, Emily Longnecker, who's talking about this surveillance video that she just got her hands on, showing this carjacking.
Yeah, it's pretty disturbing video, although it's from a distance. So, but this woman, this morning, midnight, she was filling her car up with gas. We've all done that at some point after work, right? And on West Morris Street, 2100 block. And
these are the guys?
These guys come up. They're all in black, dressed in black. They're all, they have masks on. There she is. She's just gotten done filling up her car, and you're going to see one of them hit her on the head. Boom, he hits her on the side of the head and says, "Give me your car." And she says she's stunned, and right there she's telling him, "Let me just get my son's stuff out of the car," because she has a little boy, and so she's like, "I just need to get my son's stuff out of the car," and he's saying, "Give me your stuff." So she leans in there and she grabs her phone, and then they both get in the car. You see them, they're both getting in the car, and she's standing there. She starts to try and dial 911, and then they stop, and as they're leaving, the passenger shoots her, and that is her stumbling to the gas station door. But now look, this gentleman right here, he pulls up minutes later and he says, "What happened to you?" And she says, "I'm shot." And he's going to take off his coat and takes off his belt, and he's trying to give her first aid and stop the bleeding.
Wow.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, right. So she never got his name, obviously, and soon after, you know, the fire and police came, and she was taken to Eskenazi Hospital. She's okay. She's home tonight. She spoke with us from her home. A pretty traumatic experience for her, but she was, you know, willing to speak to us. And obviously, she hopes that these guys get caught.
Yeah, no arrest yet.
No arrest yet.
Yeah.
They're still looking for her silver Honda Accord, 2004 sedan. So, yeah. So she's just kind of recovering tonight and still kind of processing
Yeah,
it
of
all
course.
when something like that
I hope
happens.
she
I mean, she
recovers
feels lucky.
fully.
I mean, she feels lucky to be alive.
Of
obviously,
course,
right?
yeah.
So-
Yeah, I mean, she's been violated, so shaken to a
Very
core, but
much.
at the, I imagine just a rush of a variety of emotions. Like you
variety
said,
of
she feels
emotions.
so grateful too.
She's grateful, she's angry, she's sad. You know, we talked about how in that moment, just in a matter of 2 minutes, she sees the worst in human behavior followed by the best, right?
And you know, she did the right thing. She allowed these guys to get her car,
Correct.
and then they shoot her anyway.
And she is struggling with that tonight. She said, you know, the car was not worth my life.
Right.
Here, take my car. I don't need it. And then they still, the passenger still
well,
shot
hopefully
her.
they get these
Yeah,
guys.
hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
okay.
disturbing story for sure.
Yeah.
We're going to have more on that tonight at 11 o'clock. So thank you for showing us that.
Of
We'll
course.
have more of the video on our website so you can hopefully identify these people, call police. You don't have to give your name. You can call Crime Stoppers. So hopefully they'll track these two guys down. Okay, let's talk about the big sports story. It's not really a sports story. I guess it affects Tom Brady. There's been all this, you know, all these reports today of Tom Brady and his wife, Giselle, perhaps getting a divorce, Felicia, because I guess they've hired divorce attorneys.
Yeah, that's the latest sources, quote unquote. They are saying that they're both searching for divorce attorneys. And this all after he said he was going to retire. Then he said he is not going to retire. And we've heard rumblings and rumors that they've been struggling with that decision in
Yeah.
their marriage. And now it looks like they're both looking for divorce attorneys.
Yeah.
So we had a bit of an internal discussion.
Oh, yes, we
We
did.
want to open it up to the public because I think that she is completely in the right in a sense that she has something to stand on. If this is what they've decided to move forward with as a family and the decision being to retire, that, I mean, what is she supposed to do? And so I guess I feel like she's been sticking around this whole time. Let's not pretend like this doesn't have impact of family. When you have a huge job like that and you do it so well as Tom Brady does, that impacts the entire family. Missing holidays, missing personal time, family time, lots of time away from his wife and children. I mean, I can see that being a strain.
So, all right, so Tom Brady's 45. He's won 7 Super Bowls. He's got all the money in the world. But
Okay, you said a lot, Scott.
well, right?
Right,
I mean, he's the greatest of all time. I think there's no doubt about that given how many Super Bowls he's won. Look, he retired for 40 days and then decided he's going to come back and play again. Is this a reason to file for divorce because your husband says, I want to play one more year? I mean,
And so-
seriously, is that a reason to file for divorce?
So this is where Scott and I are split. Again, weigh in the comments because at some point you got to draw the line. And so I just feel like, you know, we're also thinking about the safety aspect of this. He's going
You
back
read my
onto
mind, yeah.
the field, football field. You know, we watch from the comfort of our homes as a game. It's a battlefield out there.
Well, we've seen
These people
Tua.
are trying to knock his head off
Right.
because there are a lot of people, a lot of Hoosiers I know, that just don't like Tom Brady. And so they're literally trying to knock this man's head off.
Yeah, but they've been doing that his whole career, right? They've been after him for his whole career.
yeah.
So I don't think anything's changed there. I think what's changed is he wanted to retire, said he was retired. She's probably like, yay, I finally got my husband home. And now he's like, yeah, 40 days later, he's unretired and he's back playing football.
And
He's,
so now she has to go through all of this again. All of the emotions that come
Yeah,
with
but you
it,
do-
the absent father that comes with it.
You do say for better, for worse,
That's right.
right? They did do that.
Well, I don't know
Yes.
if they said that. I wasn't there.
You weren't there at the
Angela.
wedding? I wasn't either. But you know,
Yeah.
you jump in there and you're, you know,
Yeah.
supposed to do things together. I was watching, what's our show on Channel 13?
Oh, Daily
Blast
Blast
Live.
Live.
Daily Blast. They
Yep.
had a really interesting conversation about this and bringing up, the gentleman on there brought up, okay, she was the GOAT of modeling.
Yes, she
He's
was.
the GOAT of football.
Right.
She gave that
She
up
certainly did.
for him.
Yep.
Assuming that at some point he would give that up too, and they would start and continue and
Right.
build the family.
Right.
Which
Yep.
I thought was an interesting way to look at it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, she gave up something.
did.
She expected him to, at some point
Yeah.
to give it up.
And so
now
where's
he's
the
not.
sacrifice? That's what I was trying to say
Yeah.
earlier, Scott.
So they
where's
have-
the sacrifice?
they share 2 kids, I think a 12 and a 9-year-old, and then they've got a 15-year-old from Tom's previous
Previous
marriage.
relationship.
All right, so Em, we haven't heard you. What's your feeling
Gosh,
on this?
I can see both sides of it, right? I mean, as you said, she gave up her modeling career to kind of be a mom, right? So, you know, maybe there's a little resentment there that builds up over the years, as sometimes does when both people are really great in their careers. Whose career are we going to choose? We both can't do it. We both can't be at the top of our game. So maybe it's some of that, and probably the concern about, like, I'm worried for your safety. I want you to be healthy, and so that we can retire together and live our lives and finally enjoy ourselves, right?
Yep.
But then for him, this is also one of his great passions as well. So I can imagine it is very hard for him to step away. I mean, clearly we're seeing that, right? So he retires and then he goes back. It's like maybe it's his first love. I hate to say that.
But he's not really hanging it up. I mean, he's got a job staring at him making how much money when he retires.
True that.
To just be, commentating on what he loves, his passion.
$375 million, 10-year contract. So the career changes with Fox News, another station.
Well, he's an entire brand all to himself.
Sure.
This whole TB12, he's got fitness stuff and all sorts of, nutritional products. I mean, he is a brand unto himself.
Yeah, and you bring up the health and safety too.
Yep.
I mean, we just saw Tua
thinking of that.
from Miami
with
go
2
down
concussions
2
in
weeks.
about 5 days.
Right, in a matter of a few days. And
it only takes one hit to change your life.
Right, and we know that there are football players later in life that struggle with CTE. Am I right? Is that the name?
And other issues.
And other issues that, the constant hitting of the brain, over and over and over again. That's a concern.
But and one more thing. Scott, you say it's just one more year, one more season, get over it, Giselle. Right, we don't know until he says no and fake retirement again. And with that, I forgot my point. Go ahead.
Okay, here are what the viewers are saying. Joe says she's selfish. Let's see. Jeremy says if he worked at Amazon, maybe she'd be happy.
Okay.
Teresa says we don't know the whole story.
True that.
Jenny says agree with Scott. Is that a true godly reason for divorce? Divorce is not good for family.
She must be from the Northeast or Tampa.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, Rachel's back with us tonight saying hi, friends. Rachel, we haven't seen you around for a while. We're glad you're here. Let's see. Pam says no, they don't have to draw the line. You know how many people could get a divorce over a job? Good point.
True.
Right?
That is a good point.
So anyway, that's what they continue to put your comments in. All right, before we say goodbye, we want to give kudos tonight to our friend and former colleague, John Stair. A big day for John Stair and his family. There he is. He's got the beard. He's looking great. He's looking relaxed. And this was at his Hall of Fame induction ceremony today. And there is the trophy. So this is the Indiana Broadcasters Association Hall of Fame. John Stair, a legend around Indianapolis, certainly worked for a while in New York and obviously a legend here in Indiana. So we give kudos to John. And also another member of the Channel 13 family, Jerry Harkness, the first black sportscaster in the state of Indiana, who died last year. He was inducted posthumously today. And so we wanted to honor Jerry and his family tonight by showing you a little video, as both Jerry and John are now Hall of Famers. And so we congratulate the family of Jerry Harkness and John Stair. Way to go.
I got to be there today.
Yeah, how was that?
It was great, and Jerry's wife was there accepting on his behalf. And I really enjoyed seeing the video of him and how he kind of got his start and played basketball and really did. Like, I had no idea he created Athlete's Foot, the shoe store. I remember shopping there. And so it was really, really fun to see that, and of course to see everything that John did leading up to coming here to the Big 1-3. So
we're all big fans. So it was good to see that. All right, so it's been a fun night. Been a fun show, huh? Well, you still got some stuff to say. I know you got one more thing to say.
One more thing was, what's Tom Brady going to do if he retires at 46, 47 years old? Who are you going to come home to now, Tom?
I mean, it won't be Giselle.
But
Yeah, I do hope that things work out and they
yeah.
figure it
Yeah, of course,
out.
with
I
the
think we
kids
all
and-
do.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
nobody likes to see that for
hopefully
folks.
they're just upset right now and they'll get back on the same page.
And maybe he doesn't realize just how fun it is to go to your kids' plays, to go to
Yeah.
have lunch with them at school,
Yeah.
and do, before school shopping and make dinner after
Yeah.
and hear about their day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It's hard to quit when you're
is.
at the top of
Top.
your game and
That's
you've
right.
got Super Bowl dreams and $1 million
they
paychecks.
ain't making
It's-
the Super Bowl again
that's-
this year.
Well, you never know.
Really?
I'm just saying.
You heard it here first. Not gonna happen.
right.
All right, thanks so much for joining us. We'll all be with you tonight at 11 over on the Big 1-3. We'll see you then. Good night.
Another thing.